Okay, let's dive in. Is the point of life really just piling up as much cash as possible? Or is there something else, something more meaningful we should aim for?
That's the core question, isn't it?
Yeah, and today we're digging into this idea, the die with zero philosophy from Bill Perkins.
Mm-hmm.
Our goal here is to help you figure out how to, intentionally use your money for actual life experiences while you can still enjoy them.
Right. While you've got the health and the time, it's really a deliberate shift in how we think about money.
Total reorientation.
Absolutely. And look, the provocative title, it's not literally about hitting zero on your deathbed.
Okay, good.
It's more about making sure your wealth was used purposefully during your life, not just hoarded away for some, well, unknown future.
So money is a tool, not the end game.
Exactly. A tool to build a life rich in memories and experiences. That's the real measure, not the final bank balance. It's kind of a shortcut to thinking about your life energy.
Life energy. How so?
Well, the wealth you build represents your stored time and energy, right? The idea is to convert that back into living, into experiences before, your health declines or time runs out.
Okay, so let's get into the psychology then. Because it feels like a lot of us, maybe subconsciously, just keep saving way too much.
Yeah.
It's not always rational.
Oh, definitely not always rational. There are deep biases at play.
Like loss aversion. That feeling where losing $100 hurts way more than gaining $100 feels good.
Precisely. It makes us really hesitant to spend. And then there's just that background hum of anxiety.
The fear of not having enough.
Yeah, that constant worry. It could stem from past financial scares, maybe seeing recessions, and it just pushes people to accumulate.
It also feels like money itself becomes a comfort blanket. Hard to let go of.
It really does. There's an emotional attachment. Sometimes it's even a fear of spending it wrong or just, keeping up with the Joneses. That societal pressure
Status schemes, right.
pushes us onto this autopilot of just getting more. But here's the paradox.
Okay.
Saving relentlessly for security can actually make you insecure later. You risk ending up with a life unlived, full of regrets about things you didn't do.
So the fear of regret versus the fear of running out.
Exactly. That fear of regret can be a really powerful motivator to actually use the money.
But that fear of running out is strong. It feels very immediate for a lot of people. How do you practically override that instinct?
That's the key question for you, the listener. How do you make that shift? Well, Perkins suggests focusing on memory dividends.
Memory dividends.
Yeah, experiences that pay you back emotionally over time. Their value grows in your memory.
I like that.
And you also need solid financial planning, not to restrict you, but to give you the confidence that, yes, you do have enough to start spending.
So planning gives you permission, in a way.
Permission and clarity, see money as the tool again, maybe break away from what everyone else is doing, do some personal time bucketing.
We'll get the time bucketing. What about buying back time?
Oh yeah, that's a big one. Outsource chores you hate. Free up that time for things you actually want to do. And consider giving money to family or causes now while you can see the joy or impact it brings.
Okay, this time bucketing idea seems crucial. You mentioned it connects to health and time.
It really does. This is where it gets super interesting. The usefulness of your money changes drastically depending on your health and your free time.
And our health usually peaks way before our wealth does, right?
Often, yes. So your real golden years for certain activities might be much earlier than traditional retirement. Think about physically demanding stuff.
Like backpacking across Europe. Probably best in your 20s or 30s.
Exactly. Those experiences have hidden expiration dates. Maybe intense family travel or learning a complex new skill fits better in your 40s or 50s.
And later, say 60s, early 70s.
Perhaps that's prime time for extended world travel if health permits, or really focusing on intentional giving, philanthropy.
The bottom line being, health is everything.
It's the ultimate multiplier. Wealth means little without the health and energy to enjoy it. So investing in your health is investing in your ability to have those experiences.
So time bucketing helps you map this out. Matching activities to your go-go, slow-go, and maybe no-go years.
Precisely. It's about being intentional about when you pursue certain life experiences to maximize your enjoyment.
Okay, let's make this practical. This isn't about being irresponsible.
Yeah.
Not just blowing all your money tomorrow.
Not at all. It's thoughtful allocation. Getting close to zero over your lifetime, strategically. Not literally waking up penniless on your 80th birthday.
But what about that big what if? The fear of, living too long and running out of money. Longevity risk.
That's a valid concern. But there are financial tools. Things like annuities can provide guaranteed income and robust financial planning.
Stress testing scenarios.
Yeah, running the numbers for different situations, market downturns. This builds real confidence that you can afford to spend more now.
And what about legacy? People want to leave something behind.
Of course. But legacy isn't just about the final inheritance number. Think about the legacy of shared memories, of experiences you funded.
Or helping kids when they actually need it, like with education or a house deposit, maybe in their late 20s and 30s.
Exactly. Giving when it makes the biggest impact, and crucially, while you're there to see the joy it brings, that's a powerful part of your legacy, too.
So the financial plan isn't a cage, it's the key to unlock spending.
It empowers you. It shifts the mindset from fear and scarcity, like I need to hoard, to abundance. I have enough to live fully.
So wrapping this up, the big takeaway seems to be shifting focus, maximizing life experiences and enjoyment, not just the bank account.
It's a call to live more deliberately, more purposefully, to avoid looking back with that deep regret of a life only half lived because you were oversaving.
A really powerful idea. So here's something for you to think about. Reflect on your own life, your own fulfillment curve. Are you potentially underliving because you're oversaving?
Yeah, how can you start making conscious choices right now to better align your money with your values, your desired experiences, to ensure your life is truly rich in purpose, joy, and memories you won't forget?
You know, we hear it all the time, right? Save, save, save for the future. Optimize everything.
Standard playbook.
But what if?
Yeah.
What if a truly rich life isn't just about that final number in your account? What if it's about, I don't know, the experiences you gather along the way?
That's exactly what we're diving into.
Yeah, today we're looking at Bill Perkins's Die with Zero idea. Specifically, this concept of mastering your time buckets.
Right.
And just to be clear, this isn't about blowing all your cash irresponsibly.
No, not at all. It's actually quite strategic. It's about maximizing your life, using your resources wisely over time.
So, time buckets. Tell us more about what that actually means.
Okay, so think of them as like distinct periods in your life. Each one has a unique mix of, well, health, free time, energy, and the opportunities available to you then.
Okay.
And the key insight really is that unlike money, which you can sometimes get more of, your time and your health, they're finite. They generally decrease.
They're non-renewable.
Exactly. They are the real scarce resources. And this changes everything, doesn't it? It shifts the focus from just saving money to intentionally using your time and health while you have them.
It's about being deliberate.
Very deliberate, with a sense of urgency even.
Okay, so let's unpack that a bit more. Time buckets, meaning certain experiences are just better at certain times, or only possible then.
Precisely. Think about, say, backpacking across Europe or Southeast Asia, roughing it a bit.
Right. Hostels, long travel days.
Yeah, that's probably way easier, maybe more enjoyable in your 20s than, say, in your 70s when your body might not cooperate in the same way.
So delaying isn't just delaying. It might mean missing out completely or having a much lesser experience.
Absolutely. And that missed opportunity or that diminished experience, that's part of the cost. It's not just the dollars and cents.
Oh, okay.
Perkins calls this the return on experience, ROE. It considers when you have the experience.
So it connects to this health-wealth paradox idea.
Exactly. Your health generally trends downwards over time, right? But your money, hopefully, trends upwards as you save and invest.
The typical curves we see.
The trick is finding that sweet spot, that critical window, where you have enough money and enough health to truly enjoy certain things.
Like climbing a mountain or learning to surf.
Could be, yeah. Maybe that big trek is best at 45 with good stamina, even if it means spending more savings than you'd planned, rather than waiting until 65 when the money's there, but maybe the knees aren't.
The regret isn't the money spent, it's the experience missed by waiting too long.
That's what Perkins argues is the most common regret, yes. Waiting too long.
Okay, so this feels pretty radical compared to traditional financial advice. How does this actually change how we should think about spending?
It fundamentally shifts the goal. Instead of just maximizing return on investment, ROI, you optimize for return on experience, ROE.
So you're allocating resources, money, yes, but also time and energy strategically for experiences.
Correct. You identify what Perkins calls peak experiences, those things that really bring you joy, fulfillment, lasting memories.
And these create memory dividends.
Yeah, I love that term. Like a financial dividend pays out cash, a memory dividend pays out happiness, connection, good feelings, stories. for years after the event. Think about a great family vacation.
You relive it through stories and photos.
Exactly. It keeps paying out. And importantly, this doesn't mean being financially insecure. Perkins emphasizes setting a baseline, a floor amount for your needs so you feel safe.
Yeah.
Then you can deploy the rest for experiences.
Right, security first. What about inheritance? That's a big one for people. This sounds like you might not leave as much behind.
That's a key part of it. He advocates for giving while living.
Seeing the impact yourself.
Yes, you get to witness the joy or the help your money provides. It builds what he calls relational wealth, strengthens bonds, creates shared memories now.
Instead of just a check after you're gone.
Right. Perkins suggests that large late inheritances can sometimes cause complications, whereas giving earlier fosters connection and lets you share in the experience.
Okay, this is fascinating. So, how do we actually do this? Are there practical tools? You mentioned something actionable for the listener, the life calendar. What's that?
Ah, yes. It's simple but really powerful. You basically map out your expected lifespan visually, maybe in weeks or months, on a grid.
Like you see all the weeks you potentially have left.
Exactly. You fill in the ones that have passed. It
Yeah.
makes the finite nature of your time incredibly tangible, staring you in the face, really.
Wow, I can see how that would fight procrastination.
It really does. It creates urgency. You
Yeah.
see those remaining time buckets and think, okay, when am I actually going to plan that trip or learn that skill?
It forces you to prioritize those peak experiences.
And it helps tackle some deep psychological barriers. We often have FOMO, fear of missing out on, say, investment gains.
Right. If I spend this, I lose potential growth.
But this reframes it. It introduces FRO, the fear of regretting opportunities.
The fear of looking back and realizing you missed the window for something important because you delayed.
Precisely. That irreversible loss of a life experience. Which fear is more powerful in the long run? Probably FORO. It encourages a more holistic view of risk and reward.
So wrapping this up, Die with Zero isn't about literally hitting zero on your deathbed necessarily.
No, it's more of a guiding principle.
It's a framework, really, for living intentionally, managing time, health, and money together to maximize your life experiences across your whole lifespan.
Absolutely. It suggests that true wealth isn't just money in the bank. It's measured in those experiences, the memories you create, the impact you have. Wealth is a tool to live a full, meaningful life.
Integrating finances with your actual life goals, health, well-being.
That's the core idea.
So a final thought for everyone listening. How can you best spend your finite time, health, and money to live the richest life possible, starting today and continuing tomorrow?
Okay, so have you ever felt that nagging feeling, that little voice saying, keep saving, work harder, maybe travel later?
Oh, absolutely. That what-if anxiety. It's incredibly common.
Right. And you end up diligently piling up wealth, but then you look around later and think, maybe the energy or the time, even the health isn't quite there anymore to really enjoy it.
Exactly. It's this sort of underliving phenomenon, sacrificing today for a tomorrow that isn't guaranteed.
Which brings us to our deep dive today. There's this philosophy that tackles this head on. Die with zero.
Yeah, and let's be clear up front. It doesn't mean, aiming to be penniless or spending recklessly. Not at all.
Okay.
It's really about thinking strategically.
Yeah.
How do you deploy your money during your life to maximize what we might call your return on life, your rural leverage?
Return on life. I like that. So money is just the tool.
Precisely. A tool for living a fuller life, not the ultimate goal itself.
So our mission here is really to get grips with that strategic spending, maybe, and living without looking back thinking, I wish I'd done that. It connects money, time, and health, doesn't it?
Absolutely. They're totally interconnected resources. We'll touch on a few key ideas, like the diminishing utility of money.
Meaning more money doesn't always equal more happiness.
Exactly. Past a certain point, its impact on your joy levels off. And we'll talk about memory dividends, this idea that experiences pay you back over time in happiness.
Ah, okay. Like stories and good feelings.
Right. Lasting recollections. We'll even look at practical stuff like using time buckets to plan. Basically, how to align your spending with your most valuable and finite asset, your time.
The goal then is what? To live so fully there are no regrets.
That's the essence of it. Empowering you, the listener, to build a life rich in experiences so you don't look back at missed chances.
It feels like a big shift from how we usually measure success, Traditionally, it's all about net worth. How much have you accumulated?
It completely reframes it. Instead of net worth, net fulfillment. That's the sum of your meaningful experiences, your satisfaction Money's just the engine for that.
And that ties back to the diminishing utility idea.
Yeah. Once your basic needs are met and you have enough for your desired lifestyle, stacking up more and more money, well, it often provides less and less added joy. There's a kind of sweet spot.
But unlike money, health, and time,
Yeah.
they only go one way, right? They decline.
That's the critical urgency here.
Yeah.
Money can grow, but time and health are finite.
They diminish. Think about physically demanding adventures, backpacking, learning to surf, maybe extensive travel.
Yeah, definitely easier when you're younger and have more energy. My friend always wanted to hike the Andes, kept putting it off.
And now it's maybe too physically tough. That's exactly the trap. Delaying often means missing out, or at least enjoying it less. It's a direct challenge to that someday mindset. You have to act.
So if we embrace this, spending isn't just spending anymore, it's investing. Investing in memory dividends. That's the term. These positive memories, stories, skills learned, they provide a lasting return on happiness. Way more than, say, another gadget often does.
Prioritizing experiences over stuff.
Exactly. And the time buckets help with that. You sort of map out your life in chunks, maybe 5 or 10 years.
Okay.
And you think, okay, what experiences or goals fit best in this bucket, considering my likely health, energy, finances then? It pushes you to front load the more demanding things.
That makes sense. It's proactive planning. What about giving money away?
That's another key part. Giving while living. Instead of leaving it all behind, you distribute funds to people or causes you care about during your lifetime.
So you get to see the impact.
Yes, and participate in it. It builds connections, creates shared joy in a way. An inheritance after you're gone just can't.
But the big hurdle for many, I imagine, is the fear. The fear of running out of money, especially with retirement looming.
It's huge. Society drills that fear into us.
Yeah.
And it leads to people oversaving and, underliving as a result.
It's a valid worry, though. How do you counter that?
Well, practically, you can work with a financial advisor to figure out your optimal spending, get realistic projections, build in buffers.
And stay flexible, I suppose. Life changes.
Absolutely. Plans need to adapt. And fundamentally, it's about shifting focus from endless accumulation to sufficiency, defining what enough actually means for your rich life.
It boils down to a mindset shift, then, from scarcity of money to abundance of experiences.
You got it. Recognizing time and health are the truly scarce resources. Your real wealth becomes the sum of your memories, your adventures, your impact.
So wrapping up, Die with Zero isn't about dying broke. It's about living richly. Prioritize that return on life. Understand money's limits for happiness. Don't delay joy. Time and health are running out.
Invest in those memory dividends. Use tools like time buckets. Consider giving while you're living. And tackle that fear of running out head on.
Right. So for everyone listening, what's one small step you could take?
Maybe identify just one thing. One experience you keep putting off. A trip, a class, visiting someone. What's the first step you can take this year to make it happen?
Or even just sketch out your first time bucket. Next 5-10 years, what 1 or 2 things are top priority?
Exactly. Start small. Maybe even just talk to a loved one about the idea of giving while living. See how it feels.
Because the ultimate measure, perhaps, isn't the size of your bank account at the end. It's the richness of the life you lived, the stories you can tell, ensuring you look back, without regret.
Welcome back to our deep dive. Ever stop and think about that weird paradox? We work so hard, build up savings, but then when the money's really there, maybe the energy or even the physical ability to enjoy it isn't quite the same.
Oh, absolutely. It's a classic misalignment, right? And that's precisely the issue Bill Perkins tackles head-on with his Die with Zero philosophy.
Die with Zero sounds pretty radical.
It sounds it, but it's actually quite intuitive. It's not about being reckless. It's more a blueprint for living fully now, optimizing time and money for experiences.
Maximizing fulfillment, minimizing regret later. Okay, I'm intrigued. So what are we unpacking today?
Well, we'll dig into that core idea first, the health curve versus money curve.
Okay.
Then we'll look at his concept of time buckets, which is fascinating.
Time buckets.
And the joy of giving while living, a really powerful shift in perspective.
And finally, that big one, tackling the fear. The fear of running out of money.
Exactly. Let's start with the health versus money curve. It's this inverse relationship, you see.
Inverse?
Meaning, as we typically get older, our physical health and energy naturally, gradually decline. It just happens.
Sure. Wear and tear.
But standard financial advice means our wealth often peaks in those later years.
So when you can finally afford the round-the-world trip, you might not physically want or be able to do the really adventurous parts?
Precisely. Think about, say, backpacking across Europe. Amazing in your 20s, maybe even 30s.
Tougher in your 70s, even with unlimited funds.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Experiences have these optimal windows?
Optimal windows, yes. That's the key insight. Physical capacity is perishable. You can't save up your youth or your health for later.
It's a use it or lose it deal for those moments. Time and health, they're finite. Gone is gone.
Which leads us neatly into mastering your time buckets.
Okay, tell me about these buckets. Are they like age ranges, 20s, 30s, 40s?
Not rigidly, no. Perkins sees them as more fluid life phases. Each phase has its own opportunities, its own energy levels, its own constraints, perhaps.
So it's about planning experiences for the right phase of life, not just cramming them all in at retirement.
Exactly. And the payoff isn't just the experience itself, it's what he calls memory dividends.
Memory dividends, I like that. Like the positive recollections actually grow over time.
That's the idea. They appreciate, they enrich your life long after the event. Unlike money, which inflation can erode.
Okay, that's a powerful reframe. But how do you decide when to spend? It's easy to get analysis paralysis.
True, he offers a practical guideline. The 1% rule.
The 1% rule?
Yeah, if an experience costs 1% or less of your net worth, he basically says, just do it, don't overthink it.
Removes the friction for those smaller but still valuable experiences. Keeps the memory dividends flowing.
Right. But critically, this requires liquidity. Your funds need to be accessible when those windows open. Can't have it all tied up.
Makes sense, like funding that language course early in your career bucket.
Or maybe helping a grandchild with college tuition in a later bucket. Very different experiences, different timings.
Now, you also mentioned giving, but giving while living. That feels different from traditional estate planning.
Very different. He really challenges the idea of waiting until you're gone to pass on wealth.
Why? What's the benefit of giving now?
It's the shared joy. Witnessing the impact firsthand, seeing your gift make a difference now.
Ah, so it creates memory dividends for both people involved.
Exactly. It strengthens relationships. Imagine helping with a down payment for a first home.
And actually being there, seeing their excitement, feeling that connection, rather than it just being a number in a will.
Precisely. Or funding a specific trip, a wedding. Tangible things you can share in. It's active participation in their joy.
Okay, I see the power in that. But it leads back to that fear, doesn't it? What if I give too much away? What if I run out?
The enough mindset challenge. It's huge. This fear paralyzes so many people into oversaving and underliving.
So die with zero isn't about hitting $0 on your deathbed with nothing left for emergencies.
No, not at all. It's about calculated, intentional depletion after ensuring your security. It's crucial to define your financial floor.
Financial floor. Like the absolute minimum you need.
Yes. The amount for security, necessities, unforeseen emergencies, maybe 6-12 months of expenses, plus solid insurance. It's your safety net.
And knowing that number, that floor, that actually enables you to spend the rest more confidently.
That's the key. Defining the floor isn't about restriction, it's about liberation. It buys you peace of mind to actually use the rest of your resources for living.
So pulling it all together, what's the core message here?
Prioritize experiences now for those lasting memory dividends. Understand your time buckets and the value of timing. Find the joy in giving while you're here to see it.
And conquer that fear of running out by figuring out what enough truly looks like for you, what your safety net is.
Right. It's about redefining net worth. It's not just dollars and cents. It's the sum of your experiences, your relationships, your growth. A fulfilled life.
So the challenge for you listening,
Yeah.
maybe identify one thing, one experience you've put off.
It's just one. And make a small plan. Or maybe start mapping out some experiences for your next time bucket, whatever that looks like for you.
Because the ultimate question is,
Yeah.
how can you best use your resources, your time, your health, and your money to live a life with zero regrets? That's something to really think about after this deep dive.
Okay, so we've all heard that traditional financial advice, haven't we? Save, build up this big nest egg. But what if that whole approach kind of misses the real point of money? Today, we're doing a deep dive into something called the Die with Zero philosophy. And this really challenges that conventional thinking. It's about how to, maximize your life fulfillment by using your wealth intentionally. We've gone through a whole stack of research, different reports unpacking this. It's a pretty compelling idea.
Yeah, and just be clear, our mission here isn't to explore reckless spending, not about ending up broke. It's really about a strategic deployment of your resources, making sure you get enjoyment now, today, while still thinking about the future, of course. It's kind of redefining wealth. Not just the bank balance, but the richness of your life, your experiences.
Right. So if that traditional planning often, well, falls short, how does this die with zero idea, Bill Perkins's idea, really change the game? It highlights something interesting. Lots of people die with a lot of unspent money, which, when you think about it, kind of means they wasted precious hours earning it, right? So this philosophy says success isn't what you save, it's the fulfillment you get from spending intentionally.
Exactly. And a key part of this is understanding the interplay between three things that are, well, finite: your time, your money, and your health. And the mix changes drastically over your life. When you're young, maybe lots of time and health, less money. Later, maybe more money, but health starts to decline. So you need a plan that adapts, not just a static budget. It has to align with what you actually have at different stages.
Okay, so that means shifting focus, prioritizing spending on experiences, things that create lasting memories, like investing in your own life story, big trips while you're healthy enough, that kind of thing. And I guess research backs this up, that experiences bring more happiness than buying stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Studies consistently show that. Experiential purchases lead to greater, more lasting satisfaction. It feeds into this concept Perkins calls peak worth. Think of it as the sweet spot in life, the point where you've got the best combination of time, money, and health to really convert wealth into those amazing experiences. Spending at that stage creates what he calls massive memory dividends for you, for your family. It's about timing.
That makes sense. And it also ties into strategic gifting, like giving inheritances or charitable donations earlier, front-loading them so you actually get to see the impact. That sounds powerful. There's some research suggesting kids benefit most from inheritance money between like 26 and 35 when they're buying homes, starting families.
Precisely. It makes money more impactful for them then. And for charity, yeah, there's really no too soon to make a difference if you can. And if you connect that to legacy, it changes things, doesn't it? It's not just leaving a pile of cash behind. It becomes an active, shared thing. It really poses the question, what's actually more valuable, the money itself or the shared memories and seeing the good it does?
Yeah, exactly. And it also kind of pushes back against just working forever, right? That idea that you just keep going and going.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, nobody lies on their deathbed wishing they'd spent more time in the office, do they?
Not usually, no. There's likely an optimal point to stop working purely for maximizing life fulfillment.
Okay, so that's the big picture. But how do you actually do this, practically speaking? Perkins talks about something called time bucketing, like dividing life into 5 or 10-year chunks, and setting experience goals for each, goals tied to what you can physically do then.
Exactly. It links the financial plan to your physical reality.
Yeah.
So maybe your 20s and 30s. That's when you take bigger risks, right? Physically demanding trips, adventures. You've got the energy, less to lose. Then 40s, 50s, maybe it shifts. Big family experiences or using money to buy back time, outsourcing chores, that kind of thing. 60s, 70s, maybe that round-the-world cruise or historical tours, things that require less physical exertion but still great experiences. It's not just about affording it, it's about being able to enjoy it fully at that stage. That dream trip might be possible financially later, but will you be able to do it?
Good point. And just to be clear, die with zero isn't literally zero, right? It's more like almost zero. You still need an emergency fund. And things like Social Security or maybe annuities for basic expenses.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's not about being reckless. You ensure your basic needs are covered. Annuities, for example, can provide that guaranteed income stream for life. It's about being intentional with the rest. And there's a psychological edge, too.
Yeah.
Even if an experience isn't perfect, say a hiking trip where the weather's awful, you often look back on it more fondly later than you would a material object that just sits there. It becomes part of your story. Less buyer's remorse.
So, thinking about the end goal, living a life with fewer regrets. This philosophy seems to tackle that head on. It addresses those common regrets people have: missed chances, working too much, leaving too much unspent wealth. It feels like a proactive strategy against regret.
Well, some regret is probably unavoidable. It's human. But yes, this framework helps you make conscious choices now. Choices about how you use your time, your money, your health to reduce the chance of major regrets later about how you lived.
So summing it up, Die with Zero is about shifting the purpose of wealth away from just endless accumulation towards intentional use for a life packed with experiences.
That's it. True wealth isn't just the dollar amount. It's measured in how fully you lived, the memories you made, the impact you had, because ultimately, the main thing you'll draw on in your later years is going to be those memories.
So here's something for you to think about. What's your peak worth? When is that optimal time for you, that balance of time, money, health, to really convert wealth into life fulfillment? And how could you maybe start designing a life now that leaves a legacy of experiences, not just assets?
That's all for this episode of the Deep Dive Cast. Thanks for joining us. We hope you gained some valuable insights. Be sure to tune in next time for another deep dive into the world's best ideas. Until then, keep learning and growing.